Hey everybody, my name's Allison and I am the Director of Risk Tolerance here at Simpler Trading. And today I'm going to take a look at CMPR. I'm really liking this for a potential bullish setup. So I wanted to walk through it with you guys, show you the technicals that I'm seeing on the charts, and discuss a few different trade ideas that you might consider. So first let's start with the chart. Right now this is starting to go up into a nice stacked up bullish formation, right? We started in a stacked up bullish formation back here late July going into August. And then we started to reach a level of exhaustion. We saw the price kind of consolidate, pull back to test support. It held support, and now we're starting to bounce up again. What I like about this in particular is the fact that the simple moving averages are starting to roll off each other and go into a bullish formation. So what do I mean by that? Well, the 10-period simple moving average, which is this short dotted gold orange line on my chart, has come down to meet the 30 and is now starting to roll up off of it. The 30-period moving simple moving average here, which is this longer dashed line, is still pointed up, right? So this still has bullish strength behind it. And both of these moving averages are still above the 100-period simple, which is this solid orange gold line here on my charts. So when the 10 is above the 30 and both are above the 100, this is what I like to call a stacked up formation. And this is a nice bullish formation that shows you the overall trend looks like it's going to continue with higher highs and higher lows. The second clue that we're getting that we're anticipating a price move to the upside is the fact that the Bollinger Bands are starting to flare open. The Bollinger Bands on my chart are this blue line here. This inside blue line is the second deviation Bollinger Band. The outside blue line is the third deviation Bollinger Band. And we can see here that they're starting to flare open and open up. Whenever we see the Bollinger Band start to open up, it is because the price typically likes to trade within the second deviation Bollinger Band. So when it starts to press outside of it, either to the upside or to the downside, it's because there's a lot of momentum and strength behind that move. And typically speaking, the Bollinger Bands will start to flare open because it wants to keep the price within its comfort zone, and it too is anticipating for the move to continue in that direction. So right now, the price is pressing along the upper Bollinger Bands, and the Bollinger Bands are flaring open to try and keep up with the price, as well as anticipating the price to continue to the upside. Great examples of that were back here, right? Here we started to see the Bollinger Bands open up as the price continued to press higher. Back here we saw the Bollinger Bands open up as the price continued higher, as well as back here. And then of course to the downside, this was partly due to an earnings announcement, but we can see how strongly they started to flare open from this gap down. And then back here as well, whenever the price pressed on the lower Bollinger Band, they widened to try and keep up with the price for a move lower. So the fact that we're pressing on the upper Bollinger Band and those are flaring open is also another good sign that we could start to see a stair step higher. The lower indicators are also showing a similar situation, right? We have momentum building up from the zero line. Back here, as I mentioned earlier, we were at a level of exhaustion. The momentum on the awesome oscillator, the bars were at the top of the axis, the top of the peak here. So it wasn't too surprising that this needed to pull back down, and in turn the price consolidated and also pulled back down towards support. Now that support has confirmed holding and the momentum bars have moved back down towards the zero line, there's plenty of room for them to continue back to the upside. And for confirmation that they're starting to move back to the upside, the last 2 days we've seen some nice green bars for a potential move higher. We also have a full set of breakout signals printing on the compound breakout tool. Now, I personally love this indicator. I use it on shorter time frames for intraday moves, as well as longer term time frames. And we can see here when all three signals print in line with each other, this is a nice bullish signal that you could look at going long. Sometimes you only have two printing and it's still a valid signal. Right now we're getting all three printing. So love seeing that. And then we have a daily squeeze as well. So all of this is looking for a good potential move to the upside and makes me lean towards a rising bias trade. On the weekly chart, what I like here is we're also breaking above the 100-period simple, Bollinger Bands are flaring open, and momentum is above the zero line with room to move higher. So the fact that we're breaking above resistance, Bollinger Bands are still anticipating for a price move higher, makes me consider going long on CMPR. Now, if you want a shorter term dated trade, you could take a look at here, the 125, 130 long debit call vertical spread for next week's expiration. CMPR only has monthly expirations available, so this is a low capital risk trade. It's a short amount of time, so you're looking for that move higher within the next week. But the reason why I like this spread is it's a 225 cost basis, so it's a 275 profit potential. You're already $1.63 in the money on your 125 strike. So keep in mind, the debit that you pay is your total capital risk. So 225 per contract is your total capital risk. However, if we maintain trading at this level, we know the value of the spread going into the close next week is $1.36, excuse me. So we know there's at least some intrinsic value built into this spread. That means basically we only need a 90-cent move higher on CMPR to get to break even on this spread. And of course, any move above that would start to be a profit. And of course, a move just to 130 or above 130 would allow for that max profit potential of 275, right? Well, 130, as we can see on the chart, is not that far away. And the overall daily range that we've seen today is $6.20. Even on a more narrow range, we still have a daily range of about $2.22. So it would not take much for us to see a 90-cent move higher to break even, or in turn to see a move above that to be able to lock in a profit here. So because of all these technicals lining up, especially with the compound breakout tool here giving me a bullish signal, that to me is a good sign to look at going long, especially when they're in line with each other. For those of you who are interested in the compound breakout tool, it is available at Simpler Trading. Right now, we're actually doing a very short-term promotion about that and our profit recycling class, which is a great way to be able to keep capital risk in mind. It is about overall risk. So in that class, I go over my 25% rule. I go over how to be able to take advantage of intraday moves without necessarily day trading and avoiding that day trading rule. So it's great for people who don't want to keep risk on throughout the day or overnight. And of course, it's excellent for those of us trading smaller accounts, right? Because it bypasses that pesky day trading rule of you can only do 3 within a week, or you need an account above 25,000 in order to day trade. And it's a great way to build your account, especially when markets have been choppier, more volatile, as we've seen recently, right? So it's a great way to take advantage of those intraday moves in the market without ever having to day trade. And it also talks about how you can use the profit recycling strategy, not just on intraday style trades, but on longer term swing trades as well. So for those of you who are interested in the tool itself or in the class or both, like I said, we do have a good promotion going on right now. If you go to simplertrading.com/breakout, BREAKOUT, you can see the different packages available. But like I said, this is a great discount if you're wanting the tool or both the tool and the class. The reason why is the class typically in our store is a value of $697, and the tool itself is $297. But right now, if you wanted to look at adding the compound breakout tool to your chart, as well as you're interested in the class and how I am able to day trade without technically triggering any day trading rules, this is a great way to learn it at a very cheap discount. Right now, the combo package is only $497. So not only are you basically getting a $200 discount on the class here, you're also getting the compound breakout tool for free, right? If you're interested in just the class, you can get the class package. That's a $400 discount overall. And then if you jump into the tool, it's still $297, but the advantage of trying to jump in now is for those of you who are able to join me tomorrow, I will be having a live trading session for anyone who owns or has purchased the compound breakout tool and or the profit recycling class. So tomorrow from 12 to 3 Eastern, that's 1 to 4 Eastern, 12 to 3 Central Time. I will be hosting a live trading session where we'll go through on the market, try and find some of those intraday trades to be able to take advantage of the intraday market without having to day trade. We'll also try and find some great setups using the compound breakout tool, much like we've done here with this symbol, CMPR, right? And try and look for some bullish setups so that way you can basically have value to your overall investment and your training education. And ideally, you know, work your way back to where you take enough profits tomorrow to basically pay for the class or the indicator itself. So I'm really looking forward to that live trading session tomorrow. After market close, I will also be doing a Q&A session. So, you know, if you have any questions around the class or the tool, please feel free to join me and I'm happy to answer it there. And if you can't join us for the live trading session, it will be completely recorded. So it will still be made available to you. And of course, if you have our app and sign up for the text alerts, you will also get sent all the push notifications for any trade that we enter during the live trading day. Those will be pushed to your phone. So if you're still able to trade, but you might not be able to sit and listen to the live trading session itself, you will still be able to take advantage of those trades in real time with us. So I look forward to seeing y'all there if you're able to come. And like I said, that's if you're interested in the compound breakout tool or profit recycling class. Either way, I think this is an excellent setup to look at going long. For myself, I'm definitely leaning towards a long debit call vertical spread for next week. If you wanted a longer term trade, you could certainly look to go out to the October or November expiration and look at jumping in a long call. I typically like to look for a 0.7 delta, ideally on a long call, because that tells me 1, it's in the money, 2, it holds intrinsic value, and 3, if it continues to the upside, for every dollar move I have, I know it's increasing by 70 cents in the option strike, so it should allow me a quick profit that way. In this case, I'd probably lean towards the 120 strike. There's not as much open interest here as I'd prefer. So, of course, that means you're probably getting filled closer to the ask and closer to the bid whenever you're jumping in and out of the trade. Let's take a look at November. November's even less open interest. So yeah, I'd probably stick with October. Either the 120 or 125 strike. I know that's slightly lower than the 0.7 delta I look for, but it has a little bit better open interest, still holds some intrinsic value. But walking through all this, I think I would still prefer the long debit call vertical spread. I know it's a shorter term trade, but there's liquidity here. The risk versus reward is very small, right? The risk is only $225 per contract. Still leaves you a decent profit potential of $275 if you got filled there. And like I said, already holds some intrinsic value to it, so you don't need that much more of a move higher to get to break even or an overall profit. So that is my trade idea on CMPR. Hopefully that works out and you guys are able to follow along and take a profit for it as well. I do want to thank y'all for joining me in this video. As always, may the trade be with you, and I look forward to talking to you guys again next time. Have a great trading day. Bye, guys.